Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Isn't She Powerful podcast. I'm so excited because today we are going to be talking about that comment that you've all made at one point in your life where you say, I don't know, I'm just eating to eat. I know you know that feeling of you're sitting on the couch on a Sunday afternoon and you're really not that hungry, but for some reason you keep finding your hand in the Lay's potato chip bag or eating Reese cups. You keep finding yourself eating these snacky foods that you really aren't hungry for. You really don't want to be having, but for some reason they keep ending up in your mouth. Today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why you go through these patterns of eating just to eat and how to make all of that stop completely. I want to, before we dig into this episode, let you know that right now my group coaching program, Seismic Shift, is open for enrollment for the winter 2026 round, which I am so excited to be saying because this is always one of the most engaged times for my groups. They are all like so excited to be doing this, especially at the beginning of the year whenever the momentum is high and you're feeling really excited, right? So I'm really, really thrilled to be hosting another round of the program. This will be my 6th round of Seismic Shift. And if you haven't heard of this program before, I'm going to give you a brief breakdown really quickly. It is my 8-week program. We meet once a week for 8 weeks. And there's a group chat, which is the place where a lot of magic happens. You get to share what you're working on. You get to share your wins. You get to ask any questions. It's such a supportive environment. I said this recently to some of the women that I had in my challenge that I hosted, where I said, don't be afraid to let us know in the chat if you're not reaching these goals or you're not doing the things that you said you were going to do, because I'm that person that is never judgmental. I'm never going to make you feel bad about the fact that you're not doing it. And I've said so many times on the podcast that I don't want you to be that person either towards yourself or towards anybody else. I want you to question, well, why am I not reaching this? What's my challenge and how can I get rid of that challenge so that I can just start to reach this goal? I am that person through and through. I make sure that all of my clients feel that. And I think that I get that from being a 3rd grade teacher. And in 3rd grade, it's such a transition time where students, they're either like so on track and they're maybe even above grade level where they can read 5th grade books and they can do the math problems that the high schoolers can do, or they're still reading on a 1st or 2nd grade reading level, and I have to make everybody feel like they're right on track. And that's what I encourage. That's the type of group that I run with my coaching as well, is I make sure that everybody feels like they still are in this. You're not losing anything by not doing your workout one day. I'm going to help you continue to build that habit. And I like to say that because I'm that person, I only attract women into my groups who are also those people. And so I'm not the only one there that's encouraging you. There's also so many other people there that are encouraging you and pushing you and offering advice and offering solutions that have worked for them because they've gotten through that challenge. They're of course not going to judge you for going through it because they've been there before as well, or maybe they're going through it with you. So I want to say that the group chat is a place where so many wonderful transformations happen, as well as on the live coaching calls. You get so many other benefits of being in the program, and I have everything linked down in the show notes of this episode, or you could visit behealthyhabits.com/seismic-shift if you want to learn more, or simply, like I said, go down into the show notes because the link is there. Everything is right there on the webpage. I have previous podcast episodes where I go into detail about what's included in Seismic Shift. I'll make sure those are linked in the show notes for you as well as multiple episodes with previous clients that I've had inside of the program that have had tremendous success and have been willing to come onto the podcast. All of my clients have tremendous success, but not all of them are willing to come onto the podcast. The ones who are, though, their episodes will hopefully show you that they're just like you and you can achieve these goals because they also achieve these goals. So with that being said, Seismic Shift is open for enrollment right now. The doors close on January 19th, 2026. So if you're watching this before then and you are ready to take charge of your health and wellness, this is the time to visit the show notes, learn more about Seismic Shift, reach out to me on Instagram. I'm at Laura Be Healthy on Instagram, on TikTok. I'll answer all of your DMs in those 2 places. So reach out to me, let me know if you have any questions or hesitations or anything like that. And I for sure am that person as well who's going to make sure that you never feel like I'm pressuring you. I want you to feel like you are making the choice that's best for you. And if I don't feel like I can help you with what you need help with, I'll let you know, because I want you to invest wisely, and I want you to make sure that you are getting the absolute best out of every investment that you make for yourself and your health. Now, with all of that being said, let's dig into the topic of today's episode, which is eating just to eat. I want to first say that if you are feeling like you are doing this consistently, you're eating just to eat, you are on the couch, like I said, on a Sunday afternoon, grabbing something, or you're constantly saying, I'm really not hungry, but I'm eating anyway. My parents used to say that all the time. I can still hear my mom's voice saying, I'm really not that hungry, but I'm eating this anyway. So I want you to, if you're that person, I want you to understand that while it feels like something's wrong with you, you don't have enough willpower, you lack self-discipline and self-control, you have something that's like insatiable cravings and something's wrong with you, right? If you feel that way, I want to start off with the message of that's not true. It is not that something's wrong with you or that anything is bad about you or the life that you're experiencing, but these signals from your body, the signals of constantly feeling like you're not satisfied, like you're hungry, like you have cravings all the time, those are signals from your body. They are information. Your body is trying to tell you something. And if you listen to that and you understand what it's trying to tell you, you can make that go away. You can make this feeling of always being hungry, never being satisfied, always having cravings. Those things can go away when you have proper understanding of what your body is trying to tell you. But I want to start off by saying it's not that something's wrong with you. Your body is just trying to communicate with you. So let's get that cleared away. Let's understand that. Lock that into your brain right now. Nothing is wrong with me. This is just information my body is trying to give me. A lot of times you might find yourself eating just to eat because you're feeling bored. And I kind of think of the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch, whenever he's like, am I just eating because I'm bored? And then he like smashes food into his mouth. That is something that I think of often because so many of us believe I'm just eating because I'm bored. Every time I'm bored, I'm just eating. I'm going to debunk that in this podcast. I want you to better understand that you're not just bored. There's something else going on, something else beneath the surface. Another thing that I hear a lot is I'm just emotional. I'm an emotional eater. Every time I feel an emotion, I want to reach for food. And that is another thing that I want to debunk during this because yes, you might be a person who responds to your emotions by eating, but I want to give you a strategy for how to handle that so that you're not somebody who every time you feel happiness or sadness or anger or frustration or any other emotion immediately reaches for food. I want you to be somebody who feels in control even whenever your emotions are not neutral. The thing that so many of you try to do is say, I shouldn't be eating at all. And you try to have more and more willpower. You try to resist the urge to eat more and more and more, and that is causing more problems than is helping. It is further damaging your relationship with food, which is something that obviously I talk about so much, and I genuinely believe is a key piece of building a healthy lifestyle. You have to have a healthy relationship with food. And while I said this again in the challenge that I just hosted, but I described it as a brick wall, and your relationship with food is one brick, and there's all these other bricks, right? Like you have your nutrition and your exercise and your sleep and your stress management and your water intake and all these other pieces of a healthy lifestyle. But if you have a brick missing from your healthy relationship with food, if that is not something that you have, then there's going to be cracks and crevices in this wall, and it's going to be easier to fall over. It's going to be easier for you to fail on this health and wellness journey if you don't have a healthy relationship with food. So by trying to ignore these signals and say, I know my body is telling me that it wants food, but I shouldn't be hungry right now. I shouldn't be eating any of these foods right now. By trying to ignore that and push that feeling away, you are further damaging your relationship with food. You're further damaging the trust between you and your body, and you are making it so much easier for you to fail and give in and give up on yourself, and then reinforce the belief that, well, it's not possible for me. I tried so hard to not eat, even whenever my body was telling me to eat. I tried so hard to ignore that, and I gave in, and now look at me. I'm a failure. I can never do this, blah, blah, blah. All those stories that we tell ourselves. So I have 4 real reasons, real root cause reasons as to why you constantly feel like you're eating just to eat, or eating because you're bored, or emotionally eating. Number one is a huge one that I see so often, and it is you are under eating all day long. If you are somebody who gets home in the evenings, you have your dinner, you clean up the kitchen, you get the kids put to bed if that's something that you have to do, you finish all of your tasks for the day, and then you sit down on the couch, turn on the TV, and your brain starts going to food. You have this noise in the back of your head that's like, ooh, we have M&Ms in the pantry. Ooh, we should go get some of that hot chocolate. Like, if you are constantly having that voice in your head coming in and saying something in the evenings, once you've got home, you've already had dinner, you should be done eating for the day, and yet you're still having this noise in your head about food, the biggest reason for that is because you are not eating enough food during the day. You're skipping meals. Maybe to be good, maybe to not get filled up on all the calories, maybe because you know you're going to have something unhealthy or bad for you at dinner, so you need to eat less during the day. So that's a big thing that I'm seeing. You also are maybe somebody who skips meals, eats a little bit of food. Maybe you are eating or a meal, it's probably more like snack portions, but you're eating food, it's just not very much food, or it's all like light versions of food. It's 100-calorie packs of this and that. You eat low carb or low protein. Maybe sometimes that's unintentional. You don't even realize that you're not eating enough food, but your body is letting you know. That's what I'm saying. Your body is sending you these signals to say, hey, you're not eating enough food. You're not eating enough protein or carbs or whatever it may be. We aren't getting the fuel that we need, and we're trying to tell you. Your body isn't being defiant in the evenings. It's not like it's trying to make you mad. It's trying to let you know that you didn't eat enough food today, and it's still hungry. Or maybe again, you have like these really long gaps between whenever you eat. So maybe you eat breakfast and then it's like 6 hours until you eat lunch, and then it's like another like 7 hours until you eat dinner. And maybe you have like really long shifts at work, or again, maybe you're trying to be good and you're trying to ignore that hunger all day long. And if you are noticing that you're feeling this hunger all day long, and then you get to the end of the day and your body is still letting you know it's hungry, take that as a sign that maybe you should start eating some of that food earlier in the day rather than trying to ignore it all day long, because you know by now that once the evening gets there, you're not going to be able to ignore it anymore. So instead of trying to ignore it all day, plan for having a snack earlier in the day. Have more food during the day. This under eating is creating urgency in your body. Your body has been polite all day long. It's been like giving you little grumbles. It's been giving you little signals. It's been putting thoughts into your head saying, I feel like we should be eating. We're kind of hungry. We don't have enough fuel. You're asking us to go for a run right now, and we don't have enough fuel to do that. You're asking us to run into the grocery store, and you haven't given us enough food today to be able to do that. So your body is trying to be polite all day long and tell you, hey, we aren't getting enough food, and you ignore it and ignore it and ignore it. And by the end of the day, it's kind of angry with you. Your body's like, we're done being nice. Eat food right now. And it does not care what the food is. It doesn't care that you're going to choose something that's not giving your body any nutrients. It just needs fuel. That's all that it needs. It doesn't care what form that comes in. So it starts sending you these really loud noises, really loud cravings, a lot of hunger. You're feeling hangry, feeling like you can't focus on the TV show that you're watching because the noises for food are so loud in your head. That's because you didn't eat enough food all day long, and your body is tired of asking nicely, and it's just going to ask and get that food that it needs. Now, the number two thing that I see often as to why you are having this feeling of I eat just to eat is mental exhaustion and decision fatigue. You have to make a million decisions all day long. You're constantly on the go. You're constantly trying to say no, no, no to those foods you know you shouldn't be eating. It feels like by the end of the day, your brain is literally exhausted. You're tired of having to make decisions. You're tired of having to fight off the food noise, and your body is gonna give in. You're gonna give in at that point. And because you're so mentally exhausted, you're going to lack a lot of awareness with the foods that you're eating. You're not going to be intentional about making good choices for your body. You're just going to grab whatever you can grab. If you're listening to this right now, chances are it's the beginning of a new year. And maybe you're feeling that old familiar feeling, a mix of hope and pressure. You want this year to be different. You want to feel better in your body, more in control around food, more consistent with your healthy habits. But if you're being honest with yourself, you're already wondering, what if this year turns out the same as all of the other years that I've said that I would do this? And I want you to hear this loud and clear. If that's been your pattern in the past, it's not because you lack discipline or willpower or any of those other emotions that you are trying to force. Most health programs focus on what to eat, what to do. They give you the what, but they completely ignore the how your brain works, how you are wired to be who you are right now, how you have all of these limiting beliefs about who you are and your capability stacked on top of each other from years and years of trying and failing. And that is exactly why I created my group coaching program, Seismic Shift. This isn't another meal plan that you're going to try and then quit. It's not rules. It's not restriction. It's not just try harder. Seismic Shift teaches you how to get out of that all or nothing mindset, how to understand your cravings, where they're coming from, and how to stop fighting them and make them go away completely. Seismic Shift teaches you how to build habits that fit you, fit your life and the real everyday version of it, and how to finally feel calm and confident and in control around food. This is about changing the foundation of who you are and your mindset, not about chasing motivation. And right now, Seismic Shift is officially open for enrollment for the winter 2026 round. If you're tired of resetting every single January, if you want this year to be the year that your habits finally feel sustainable, and if you're ready to stop white-knuckling your way through health, I would love so much to support you in this program. You can check out all of the details by using the link in the show notes or by visiting behealthyhabits.com/seismic-shift. Again, that's behealthyhabits.com/seismic-shift, or simply going down into the show notes and clicking the link. This doesn't have to be the year of more rules. This gets to be the year of deep change. I'm so excited to see you there. The third thing is that your body is seeking dopamine, and this is often confused with being an emotional eater. It's often confused with I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling fill in the blank emotion, and you start to reach for food. That is a slightly different thing than what I'm talking about when I say your body is seeking dopamine. When I say your body is seeking dopamine, what I mean is it is seeking stimulation. It is seeking something that's different than what you're currently doing. This happens a lot of time if you've been sitting around all day long. Maybe it's especially on the weekends, like you've been sitting around for hours and hours. You haven't really been doing anything that stimulates either your body or your brain, and you just need something to get you out of this rut. You just need something to engage you and to give you some sort of stimulation. Because food is something that you can grab really quickly, it becomes that thing that your body attaches onto. And it's like, you know what? This would give us dopamine. Plus, eating sugary foods also increases your dopamine, so you're probably going to crave these sugary sweet treats, because not only does that give your body the stimulation that it was looking for, it also helps to spike your blood sugar and your dopamine levels, so now you're feeling really energetic, you're feeling really excited and happy for a little while until that blood sugar crashes again and then you feel lethargic again. And the number 4 thing that I see really often is that you are disconnected from your hunger cues. This is often a problem that occurs because you've been on diet after diet for so long, and now you don't even know what it feels like and sounds like to hear your own voice. All you hear are the food rules that have been nailed into you from years and years of trying all these different diets. You started this diet and it told you needed to eat this amount of protein, and then you started this diet and it said, well, you need to get rid of all of your carbs, and then you started this diet and it said you need to be eating this exact amount of healthy fats every single day, and eventually all that noise got confused with your own voice. You stopped listening to your intuition, to your body telling you what you need each and every day. And because all these diets say, don't eat past this time on the clock, don't eat past 7 or 8 p.m., don't eat beyond this amount of protein or beyond this amount of carbs, now whenever your body is trying to tell you, but we actually need more than that. You've had us do a lot today and we kind of need more food than that. Or maybe you're close to being on your period and your body's like, yeah, well, we kind of need a little bit more food because we got a lot going on the inside right now. So we need a little extra energy. If you don't mind giving us a little extra food today. And you're like, yeah, but this diet over here told me that I shouldn't do that. Your body's like, I don't care what that diet said. I need extra food today if you want us to, first of all, not yell at you tonight. And second of all, all, if you want us to actually do the functions that we're supposed to do, we're going to need a little extra food. And you are so confused because you've been on all these diets, you don't even know what it sounds like to hear that voice within you and to trust that voice. That's a big piece of it, is you lack trust with your body. You don't feel like you can actually understand, okay, my body is telling me that it actually does need more fuel. You feel like your body's wrong for needing more fuel because all these diets have been telling you that. The diets don't know you. Those diets are like mass produced. They're a one size fits all. But the problem is, because they're one size fits all, they don't fit anybody. They don't fit you, they don't fit your neighbor, they don't fit your best friend, they don't fit your mom, they don't fit your daughter, they don't fit anybody, because they don't actually know you. They weren't designed for your body. Nobody knows your body. Nobody knows what you need except for you. And because you're so disconnected from those hunger cues, you also don't know what it feels like to get full. So you are probably overeating a lot of times because you're so disconnected from that voice inside of you, from your intuition. You don't know what it feels like to feel satisfied from eating, and you feel like you could eat everything in your pantry and still not be satisfied. And that's actually, a lot of times that happens because of what I mentioned at the very beginning. You aren't eating enough food. You aren't eating foods that are well balanced. Your meals are really disproportionately balanced. So you're eating way too many simple carbs or way too many healthy fats, and you're not eating enough protein or enough complex carbs. So let's talk now about how we can stop this cycle. I want to talk now about how to stop the cycle of eating just to eat. Number one thing you have to do is balance those meals. You have to start eating healthy meals in the right portions for your body. And this is something that I teach my clients to do inside of my program, Seismic Shift, because it is such a crucial piece to feeling good. It's a crucial piece to losing weight if that's a goal that you have. It's a crucial piece to healing your relationship with food. It's crucial to every piece of the journey, is knowing how to create healthy, well-balanced meals that work for you and your body. The coaching that I do, even though it's group coaching, is very individualized. I help every person figure out their specific needs for their specific body so that they can reach their specific goals. So the first thing you have to do is start balancing your meals, having the right portions in the right amounts at the right times. And to piggyback off of that, you have to eat enough food all day long, multiple times a day. You have to eat enough food. One meal a day is not enough food. So multiple snacks a day instead of a full meal is not enough food. You need to be fueling your body appropriately. You have to eat enough food, and you have to eat multiple meals during the day if you want to stop feeling this feeling of eating just to eat, of eating because you're bored, or getting into the evenings, and even though you should be done, you should be satisfied, you should be full, you still have that food noise going on. If you want that to stop, you have to eat more food during the day. And number 3, this is the last thing I'm going to share with you about this, is pause before you eat and ask yourself really valuable questions. A lot of times we are sitting in our lazy boy watching the TV, and that voice comes in and it's like, hey, you're kind of hungry. We've been hungry all day. You've been ignoring us. So now that you're not doing anything, could you maybe get us some food? That voice comes in and you're like, shut up. I'm trying to watch TV. Leave me alone. No, I'm not eating anything. Gosh, we're so bad. Why can't I just be stronger than this? Why is this voice always here? And you start beating yourself up. You start being mean to yourself. You start really questioning yourself and your ability to live a healthy lifestyle and all these things. You start being really critical of you and the life that you are living right now. And so what I'm encouraging you to do is, instead of being so critical and so judgmental and so mean to yourself, instead pause and think about, okay, right now I'm hungry, and ask yourself some really valuable questions. What all did I eat today? What did those meals look like? Were they well-balanced meals? Did I eat enough protein? Why might my body be sending me this signal right now? What information is my body trying to give me? What's the signal that's coming from my body? Why is my body yelling at me right now to eat? Even though I feel like I should be satisfied, clearly my body isn't. So what am I missing? What's the missing piece here? What do I need to know? And maybe because you are actually hungry, you decide, okay, I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to get a snack, but it's not going to be M&Ms and potato chips. It's going to be something that gives your body protein and gives your body some fiber so that you can sleep well that night and so that you can go to bed feeling really proud of the day that you had with your nutrition. Then you use that information to power you into the next day. The next day, you're going to say, okay, so yesterday, this is the how I ate, this is the amount of food I ate, this is when I ate, and my body was hungry at the end of the day. So instead of doing exactly what I did yesterday and expecting a different outcome, I'm going to eat in a different way today. I'm going to add in an extra snack in the mornings, or I'm going to add a little extra protein or fiber to my lunch. I'm going to do something different so that my body maybe doesn't feel that way tonight. And perform a little experiment with yourself. That night, as you're sitting around doing what you always do in the evenings, ask yourself, do I feel full and satisfied? Did that work for me? And if it didn't, say, okay, tomorrow we'll try something different. Go get your snack and go to bed and be happy with yourself. If it did work, say, amazing, now I understand. Now my body has given me this information. I've used that information instead of demonizing that information. And now I can move forward, and every single day after this, I can feel more in control around food. That's not to say that there's never going to be a day again where you find yourself eating just to eat, eating because you're bored. But whenever those situations come up, ask yourself, based on everything that you learned in this episode, why might my body be asking for food right now? Do I need to be stimulated? Is it because I've been sitting around all day? Did I not eat enough food today? Am I just really mentally exhausted today? And please try to remember that trying to have more willpower is really just making the problem worse. Eating just to eat is not the problem. It is a signal from your body that something is going on, okay? Use that information to power you forward rather than using that information to keep you stuck in the same cycle. Now, if you enjoyed this episode and this is something that you want to go deeper on and you want to learn more about for yourself, you want to have a better understanding of your body and the signals that it sends you and what all that means, and you want somebody to help you with that, again, I would love so much to have you inside of my group coaching program, Seismic Shift. It would make my day to see you sign up for this program. So head on down to the show notes, take a look at the page, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on social media. I am always open to talking to you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to another episode. Thank you to everybody who always leaves ratings and reviews. Make sure that they are subscribed to the show so that they get a notification when a new episode is live. If you haven't done those things, it would really mean a lot to me if you would take the time to do those things. Thank you again, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again next week. And always remember, the more you know, the more you grow.